Once upon a time, in a world where giants roamed, and winters were long and unforgiving, there lived a bear so massive, it was known as the Lord of the Northern Forest. Its fur was the color of midnight, its paws were the size of shields, and its claws could rip through the bark of ancient trees, as if they were paper. One day, the bear's endless hunger drove it to an area near a village nestled at the edge of the Whispering Woods. There, amidst the snow-covered rooftops and the comforting glow of hearths, the bear hoped to find some food. Now, the villagers were hard-working folk. They chopped wood, herded reindeer, and told tales around crackling fires, always mindful of the forest's dangers, especially its legendary bear. So when Old Man Hemlock, a hunter with a beard as white as snow, spotted the enormous bear lumbering towards the village, he knew he had to warn the others. He raced through the streets, shouting, "Beware! The bear is coming! The bear is coming!" At first, his words were met with laughter. People thought he was joking or maybe just a bit mad. But when they saw the bear, all smiles turned to gasps. Fear tightened its icy grip on the villagers' hearts. Some barricaded themselves indoors, while others gathered in the central square, hoping there was safety in numbers. But for Old Man Hemlock, fear was a stranger. His weathered face was set with grim determination. He grabbed his rifle, its worn wood fitting snugly in his hands, and headed for the forest. He knew the bear's immense strength would make it hard to kill, so he had laid traps, strong snares hidden in the path the bear must take. Now, under the watchful gaze of the pale winter moon, he waited. Meanwhile, the bear, driven by primal hunger, continued its march. It pushed aside wooden carts, tossed barrels as if they were made of straw, and even uprooted trees, crushing them like toothpicks between its massive jaws. And then it stepped into the first trap. It struggled, roared, and for a moment, Old Man Hemlock thought the bear might break free. But with a final snap, the trap held. Enraged, the bear thrashed, its furious growls echoing through the silent night. But with each passing moment, its struggles grew weaker. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky, the bear finally stilled. And when the villagers cautiously approached, they found the once mighty giant captured, its strength sapped by the trap. They brought the bear to the village, not as a conqueror, but as a prisoner. It was bound with thick ropes, and the villagers, though still fearful, began to feel a strange sense of triumph. But Old Man Hemlock noticed something odd. The bear's eyes, usually dark and impenetrable, were now filled with an uncharacteristic fear. It was as if the bear, the king of the forest, was cowering like a hunted animal. As the villagers celebrated, unaware of the danger lurking nearby, the bear's terrified whimpers went unheard. No one paid heed to the silent plea in its eyes, the story etched on its trembling snout. Deep in the forest, hidden among the frost-kissed pines, a pair of eyes watched the bear's capture with growing unease. The owner of those eyes was a creature of the wild, a predator that thrived in the harshest corners of the northern lands. It was a Wolverine, lean and mean, with a coat as black as a moonless night and claws sharper than honed steel. The Wolverine was known throughout the forest as the Little Devil, and the name was well learned. It was ferocious, tenacious, and utterly fearless. It hunted hares, chased foxes, and even brawled with wolves, showing no mercy and asking no favors. But now, as the Little Devil watched the bear, its usual bravado had vanished, replaced by a deep sense of foreboding. It understood the bear's terror, for it had seen the strength of the trap, heard the echo of the giant's rage, and as the sun climbed higher in the sky, the Little Devil decided it had to act. As the celebrations in the village reached their peak, the Little Devil slipped out of the forest. It moved like a phantom, silent and swift, its paws barely disturbing the pristine blanket of snow. It raced across fields, leaped over frozen streams, and scaled snow-laden trees with effortless grace. Its heart pounded in its chest, a drumbeat of urgency urging it forward. And then it saw the bear, trapped in the center of the village, its eyes wide with terror, its great form trembling as if in a bad dream. In that instant, the Little Devil knew what it had to do. It launched itself at the bear, biting hard into its nose. The bear roared, thrashing wildly, trying to shake off the small creature that clung to it with the tenacity of a burr. But the Little Devil refused to let go. It dug its claws into the bear's thick hide, its sharp teeth tearing at the flesh beneath. The villagers, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of the Little Devil and the bear's renewed fury, screamed in surprise. Many fell to their knees, believing they were witnessing a battle between mythical beasts straight out of ancient tales. The Little Devil fought with the ferocity of a cornered wolf, dodging the bear's swipes, biting and clawing until the bear stumbled, its strength ebbed away. With each passing moment, the Little Devil's assault grew more relentless, its tiny body a whirlwind of fury. The bear, wounded, exhausted, and more afraid than angry, could only thrash wildly, its roars echoing the turmoil in its soul. The villagers watched in stunned silence as the mighty bear, the terror of the northern forest, was taken on by a creature they had only heard about in hushed whispers around crackling fires. At last, after what seemed like an eternity of ferocious fighting, the bear collapsed. It lay on the frozen ground, its massive form still, its chest no longer rising and falling with panicked breaths. The little devil, panting heavily, stood over its fallen opponent, its small chest heaving, its eyes blazing with triumph. The villagers, emerging from their homes, stared in disbelief at the scene before them. Among them, Old Man Hemlock felt a chill run down his spine. Despite the warmth of the midday sun, he had never seen such ferocity, such courage, such utter disregard for size and strength in the face of danger. That day, the little devil didn't feast on the bear's flesh, nor did it claim the carcass as its own. It stayed by the bear's side, growling fiercely at anyone who came too close, as if guarding a fallen comrade. As the days passed and the villagers grew bolder, the little devil eventually disappeared into the forest, but its legend lived on. The villagers, forever changed by what they had witnessed, told tales of the little devil's bravery, how it had saved the bear from their traps and stood up against the mighty bear when it was needed the most. And deep in the forest, the little devil continued its life as the ruler of the wild, its deeds becoming part of the whispering wind through the trees, the soft crunch of snow under its paws, and the echoes of its fierce growl in the heart of the northern forest. So whenever the villagers heard a twig snap in the woods or saw a flash of black fur, they couldn't help but gasp, for they knew that the forest was alive with magic, and they had seen the proof with their own eyes.